In Season 2, Episode 4 of From, we find ourselves delving deeper into the narrative and exploring the complex characters that define the series. This episode, aptly titled This Way Gone, presents a significant shift in the plot and character development as we witness the heart-wrenching struggles of Kenny's family as they grapple with their father and what happened because of this. The episode explores the importance of family, the pain of letting go, and the resilience required to face unfavorable circumstances. As we dissect the episode and analyze the characters, we discover an underlying theme of change and acceptance. In this video breakdown, we will discuss the key events and turning points of the episode. Now, this episode begins with Kenny's family touring the care facility with the intent of finding a suitable place for their father to live. The initial conversation established a clear sense of unease and resistance, particularly from Kenny's father, who expressed a strong desire to return home. The dialogues effectively depict the turmoil that the family is going through, grappling with the need for their father's safety and his emotional well-being. Kenny, attempting to pacify his father, highlights the positive aspect of the facility, and he confirms that he and his mother will be visiting him every day. This sequence is particularly impactful. This connects to how the episode progressed as well as that ending. Even though this is a brief scene, it carries significant emotional weight and serves as a window into the characters' emotional states. This scene transitions in with the arrival of Chief Boyd, who injects a sense of authority and stability into the scene. His interaction with Kenny reveals the community's overall sense of fear and confusion, which he's trying to mitigate in his role as a chief. His offer to Kenny to become his deputy signifies the episode's first major turning point, hinting at future developments in Kenny's character arc. And I love how the episode begins with him becoming deputy, and by the end of the episode, taking the decision to not be deputy anymore. As we move forward, the episode transitions into another scene, creating a dynamic shift from the past into the present. This chronological movement between past and present narrative is a storytelling technique that From used effectively to create tension and intrigue. It keeps the audience hooked and wanting to know more about the unfolding plot and character decisions. In this new scene, Kenny interacts with Chief Boyd once again, and Kenny's insistence on showing Chief Boyd something immediately, despite Chief Boyd denying. While it's clear what Kenny wants to show, the urgency in his voice and his insistence foreshadows a significant plot development. As we progress into the episode, we encounter a new conflict emerging within the Matthew family. After experiencing another paranormal incident, with Tabitha expressing concern and a desire to discuss the matter, highlighting the tension and fear that the family has. When Tabitha goes away, the sudden arrival of Jade brings a new sense of dimension to the narrative. Jade, as we know, is a resident of the same community, and his resentment and frustration towards the displaced family living in the community center. The dialogues in this sequence underline the stress and hostility that the family is facing from their neighbors, adding another layer of adversity to their already complicated situation. As the episode continues, we see the dynamic between Kenny and Chief Boyd continue to develop. The two characters are found in a situation where they must deal with Sarah, who, as we know, is a character who is uniquely connected to the mysterious phenomena occurring in their town. The scene is a compelling mix of tension, uncertainty, and revelation, which plays out through the intense dialogue between Kenny and Chief Boyd. Chief Boyd requests to leave him alone with Sarah. This moment highlights Boyd's leadership and authority, his insistence on handling the situation alone, how he's hiding the truth from Kenny. Now Sarah reveals that she has been guided by a mysterious little boy who communicates with her. This connection between Chief Boyd, Sarah, and Kenny reveals significant plot points. It also adds a new dimension to Sarah's character, painting her actions in a different light and what's going to happen in the upcoming episodes. The conversation between Kenny and Chief Boyd regarding Sarah's fate brings their relationship into sharp focus. It exposes a conflict of principles and raises questions about justice, morality. The emotional intensity in their dialogue underscores the gravity of the situation and the choice they must make. This scene ends, leaving us in suspense about the consequences of both of their actions. As we know, the death of Kenny's dad at the hands of Sarah intensifies the tension between Kenny and Chief Boyd. Kenny is struggling with his father's death, is likely to harbor a deep resentment towards Sarah and anyone who defends her, including Chief Boyd. This could strain their relationship, leading to conflict and division in their approach to handling the town's crisis. Kenny's grief and anger potentially leading him to make rash decisions. Sarah's role in the death of Kenny's dad will also likely stoke fear and anger among other town residents. This could lead to a rise in hostility towards her and even potential attempts to isolate her. Now, Chief Boyd's decision to protect Sarah despite her actions could undermine his authority in the eyes of the town's residents. This could lead to a breakdown in law and order, making it even more difficult for the community to come together and effectively address the challenges they face. Moving into something that we can expect in future episodes is the wedding of Fatima, where we see Juliet and her having a conversation where the character of Fatima proposed her to be the bridesmaid, and this adds a touch of warmth and companionship in the characters in this otherwise gloomy environment. This wedding symbolized a glimmer of hope and resilience, an attempt to celebrate love and unity in the face of adversity. It also indicates how Juliet's transformation as a character, from someone who had a hard time adjusting to the community and town, to someone who is now ready to extend help to others. The conversation between Ethan and Victor, moving into that conversation, adds another intriguing aspect of the episode. Victor's suspicion and annoyance towards Ethan, of course, even though he's a little kid, highlights the tension and mistrust that exists within the community. Doesn't matter what age, but also reveal more about the town mystery. Now, that conversation between Juliet and Elgin as she approached towards him is a mix of empathy and companionship. She acknowledged that she shared experience of their current predicament and her offer to lend an ear if Elgin wants to talk. This interaction hints at Juliet's evolving character, showing her as someone who is understanding and compassionate. Her statement, "not that long and it feels like a lifetime," it speaks volume about the intensity of their situation, signifying how drastically their lives have changed. Even though it was brief, it indicates his appreciation. It also hints at the possibility of him opening up in the future. Now, moving into that conversation between Chief Boyd and Christy, the medic or the doctor. Chief Boyd denied about his health, his insistence that he's just tired, and his denial to share details about his injury. This could be due to his role as a leader of the community, where he feels the need to appear strong and capable. His cautious dismissal of the possibility of infection and his downplaying of his symptoms reflect his wish to minimize his health issues and focus more on his responsibilities. Now we get a closer look at the dynamics between Kenny's family. A conversation between Kenny and his mother reveals the hardworking nature of Kenny and Boyd, and Kenny's mother's concern for their well-being reflects their caring and motherly nature. The dialogue hints at the underlying tension that the characters are experiencing. Kenny's mother comment about Boyd's stubbornness can be seen as a testament to Boyd's determination and relentless pursuit of stability for the community. Her concern also hints at the slight unease with the levels of influence and authority that Boyd holds within the community. The conversation takes a personal turn as Kenny's mother asks about Christy, hinting at a potential romantic subplot in Kenny's life. As we know, Kenny responds stating that he just wants Christy to be happy, illustrate his growth as a character. It also shows his ability to put others' happiness before his own, a trait that we like in his character. Now, we also had another conversation between JD and Bacta take center stage. Jade's frustration with the lack of recycling options in town, that's just a metaphor, leads to a conversation between the two characters. Bacta's confession about not listening to someone who asked him to turn the bus around adds another layer of complexity to the episode. Now, the episode also introduced Mary, a nurse who was on the bus. Now, Jim's conversation with Tabitha takes an intriguing turn as he contemplates the purpose behind the events unfolding around them. He theorized that everything they are experiencing might be part of an experiment to observe human reactions. This revelation adds a layer of mystery to the narrative leaving the audience questioning the true nature of their situation. It becomes evident that there are more mysterious and hidden agendas at play, raising suspense and questions about the
And
overall
downstairs, you have a
storyline.
nice.
He shared his doubts and meaning behind everything that is happening. His belief that radio contact was intentional. It fuels the idea that there may be more to their situation that meets the eye. Now, in a pivotal scene in the episode, Chief Boyd encounters Father Catry, who has passed away. The dialogue between them delves into the complex ethical dilemmas and burdens of leadership that Boyd is facing. Father Catry's presence serves as a representation of Boyd's conscience and the weight of his decisions. Father Catry confronts Boyd about the reality surrounding Kenny's father, insinuating that Sarah was responsible. Boyd initially denies this, but he knows that Father Catry is going to challenge him to consider the consequences of not revealing the reality to Kenny, which, as we see at the end of the episode. Father Catry's final words, "That's what you are to Kenny now, you are the father," emphasize the significance of Boyd's role in Kenny's life and the potential consequences if he doesn't reveal the reality of what happened, pushing Boyd's character development and introducing a moral dilemma that will impact future events in the show. Moving into what happened at the end of the episode, Jim and Donna take center stage as well, as Jim approaches Donna to discuss the voice they heard on the radio and the implication it holds. There's so many things in this episode that I had to take my time breaking it all. The conversation that they have is filled with accusation, showcasing the strained relationship between the two characters. Donna says that there's going to be consequences of Jim's concern about the voice on the radio. Now, the conversation between Kenny and Sarah adds more emotional aspect to the episode as Kenny confronts Sarah about her ability to hear voices and her involvement in recent events, including Nathan's death. It adds a sense of urgency and desperation as Kenny grapples with the idea of protecting Sarah, but also questioning her actions. Kenny's plays to Sarah to convince him that she doesn't deserve punishment showcase his internal conflict. He wants to believe in Sarah's innocence, not only for her sake, but also to protect Chief Boyd, who has a trust in her. This is when Sarah reveals what happened between her and Kenny's dad, which connects to the end of the episode. Also, there's something with Donna and the new member of the town. That's not something big, but let's see what happens with that in the upcoming episodes. Now, at the end of the episode, the heart-wrenching conversation between Kenny and Chief Boyd reveals the emotional turmoil that Kenny's family is going through. Kenny's mother's guilt over her perceived role in her husband's death weighs heavily on her, leading to her nightly bouts of crying. Kenny's anger and grief are strong as he confronts Chief Boyd about his knowledge of the situation. He attempts to explain that he found the neck for the creature that killed Kenny's father, but his intention to inform Kenny were delayed. This dialogue captures raw emotions of betrayal, loss, and frustration. The revelation deepens the rift between Kenny and Chief Boyd. So the episode concludes on a tense note with Kenny final plea to Chief Boyd to watch his own back. The episode was absolutely incredible, and it leaves us with a sense of anticipation and raises questions about the future direction of the series. But what are your thoughts on episode 4 of From? Thanks so much for watching. My name is Christian from Beyond Premiere, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, everyone.